Yeah, I gotta get down for this one, y'all. What's good? It's your boy Deanna, and the place to be. As you can see behind me is our home garage, okay? 3-car garage, about 580 plus feet. Got this bad boy cleaned out, and we're gonna do something special, you know? So today we are going to epoxy the floor. Yes, we're gonna epoxy the floor. And I'm gonna speak to you all like I've been doing it for 10 plus years, but this will be my very first time ever in life, ever doing something like this. But expect greatness. And in the far corner in the back there, I'm building a home gym. What's going up, man? Okay, so as you can see, this here is the garage. Back here used to have a whole bunch of stuff, just stuff for no reason, but we got to clear it out. Up here, I want to show this to you guys real quick. So I bought the, I believe I'm saying it correct, Barana T5 lights. I put those up myself. Very simple to do. Cheap lights, but greatness within the lights, if that makes sense. So we have these cords hanging, no big deal. Once I finalize everything down here on the floor, I'll go ahead and either staple those up. I'll hook it up where it's real nice, where it comes straight across. But yeah, man, so far so good. So we're about to get this floor. Okay. Got a few oil stains, you know. This garage, we have not touched anything since we moved in here about a year ago. I know it's sad, man, it's sad. I'm from the old school. The garage I grew up in had, didn't even have drywall. You just hanging up stuff. So yeah, we figured why not, it's time to use this opportunity to epoxy this floor, man. So I'm gonna get to it, get the steps going, man. And yeah, the turnout should be lit. The turnout should be lit. You did.
All right, so as you can see here, guys, I am just using the air blower to get all the dust and debris off the ground. Before I start degreasing the ground, definitely want to make sure that it's smooth, nice and neat, and then I'll go in and start degreasing and taking care of this concrete. So super excited for this project. Ultimately, we are creating a home gym, but definitely want to do something with this concrete instead of just putting mats on the ground. So I think we're definitely doing the right thing and taking a great approach at epoxying the garage floor.
All right, so the next step will be degreasing the floor. So that's what we're gonna get into. There's other processes and other ways to do this. This is the route we chose. There's another process you can do, which is called, I believe, etching. But we're not gonna etch the garage floor. That's a route we're not gonna take. And when I show you guys our garage floor a little more in detail, it's already kind of rough on the surfaces, just a little bit, not too much. So we don't need to do the etching process. That's just kind of overkill. So the next step will be degreasing the floor. And then after that, we'll get into sealing some of these cracks on the ground. Let's get into it. All right, so to degrease the floor, I'm using Rust-Oleum's degreaser for the concrete.
All right, so what I'm doing here is using a degreaser. I'm just going around and looking at any spots that I feel like are a little above the surface that I need to smooth out and remove. So that's what I'm doing here. Not a lot, so I don't need to do the entire garage. Just mainly those areas where I felt like there was a lot of oil or grease on the ground. And then after that, I just grabbed the broom, scrubbed it in there, let it sit, and then after that, I'll go ahead and rinse it off with a water hose.
All right, so it does not have to be perfect as far as the floor, the spots. My goal with the degreasing is to get off those heavy stains to make the ground as smooth as possible. That's the goal, to get it as smooth as possible. So when we put the epoxy over it, it's just a nice finish, not little glumps and bumps under the surface. So that's the goal of this. I'm not looking to clean every single spot off the concrete picture perfect. I'm just evening out any of the stains to where it's a smooth surface. I'm tired.
All right, so I let it sit for a little bit. Now I'm getting the water hose, just going over those spots. And remember, I don't need to wet the entire garage. That's just overkill. It's not that deep. Overall, our concrete is in really good shape, but just wanted to degrease some of those areas that have some oil stains. And then now I'm just scraping it in, and also scrubbing it, and then removing it from the surface. And then I'll let it dry.
All right, so far we have degreased the floor. It is air dried, so now I'm about to blow dry the concrete, get all the dust out of the little cracks and things of that nature, and then put the concrete repairs down, let that sit overnight, and tomorrow we'll start the painting process for putting the primer down first, letting that dry, and then start painting over the primer. So let's get to it.
All right, so now that it's dried, I'm going over it one more time with the air blower, just making sure we get all that dust and debris off the ground. You do not want any dust in the way when you're trying to, repair the ground with concrete or paint. You just want to make sure that's a nice smooth surface.
You've heard some things, people talk like they know the real me. Let me clear the air, I've made my mistakes, I've learned how to behave. I know I'm a stranger, but I feel acquainted. Reading the signs, we've all got our damages. I don't wanna play it safely, really it's different. Doing what I'm missing, real talk and fiction. I get lost in how I'm feeling, yeah. I want you closer, you know where you started, you know that I need it. I can see it in your eyes, the way you move your body, baby. You say what I wanna hear.
The concrete repair has dried up, and now the next day I'm going into painting the ground with the primer. So it's a clear primer, just putting it down all over the concrete. You definitely want to have something where the epoxy can stick to, and I think primer is great versus etching, and not just putting the epoxy straight on the concrete. All right, so we got kids, y'all. So the next day, we went ahead and put the paint on the ground. While I'm painting, my beautiful queen was doing the edges, painting the edges, and also sprinkling down the chips. I will say one thing I recommend if you are serious about having an excellent painted garage floor with epoxy. I would recommend using a second coat. We didn't use a second coat. The first time we did, definitely made sure that it was thick, that we applied it thick. But at the same time, I would recommend going over it a second time. But for us, this is just enough. Like I said, our ultimate goal is to have an area where we got a clean garage, a nice floor in place for when we start building our gym. And this is what it's all about. Every project we do around the house, we definitely try to get our beautiful baby girls involved, and they were excited to throw those chips in the air, mark their territory on the garage concrete floor, and job well done. So overall, we have a nice, beautiful floor, which is what we wanted for our home garage. We are starting that very soon, and it was overall a great experience. The floor turned out great. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel, because like I said, we're growing up and we're bringing the heat. And thanks again so much for watching. We hope you guys have an awesome day, awesome rest of the year, and until next time,